What made you start Mine Not Yours?
I started Mine Not Yours during my senior year
Mm.
at Taylor, and it started off as a project for my entrepreneurship class. Then after, my professor came up to me and was like, "Hey, I signed you up for a pop-up next week, so I hope you're ready to sell candles in like a week."
Whoa.
And I was like, so
Are you serious?
I called my parents and I was like, "Hey, I guess I guess I'm starting this."
Mm.
So started it in my college apartment, and the reason behind it was I am a survivor of sexual assault and domestic violence, so I wanted to raise awareness for that cause, and to let people know that they aren't alone in the different battles that they face, and to just create a sense of community and let them know that their stories are heard as well.
When people receive your candles, what do you want them to feel?
So when people receive my candles, I do want them to feel, like I mentioned earlier, a sense of support,
Mm.
and that they are believed in whatever they may be facing. So a lot of, you know, with being a survivor comes having different types of trauma, and just trauma in general affects the brain so differently and so uniquely for every person, and everyone has very unique experiences. And that's actually where the name "Mine Not Yours" came from, to kind of symbolize that it's my story, my emotions, and my choice. So that's something that no one can take away from me. So when people receive my candles, I want them to know that it's their story and they can do whatever they want with it. It's their choice as far as if they want to, however they want to, tell their story. If they don't want to, and it's
Mm.
also just their emotions, and if they're validated and they are heard at the end of the day.
Absolutely. What has the community been like since you started it?
I will say, like, the support and the love I have received has been absolutely phenomenal. I've also had so many people come forth and tell me, different experiences that they've gone through. That's one thing is I really do try with all my followers on social media to just be raw and genuine. So sometimes I may be crying in videos, or sometimes you could tell that I am a lot more anxious and things like that. But I like to be able to be like that, to let people know that it is okay to, I mean, it's been years since my abuse. And I like to empower people by letting them know, like, it's okay to still have those bad days and things like that. So the community that I've been surrounded by has just been phenomenal. They've, been very supportive, and I've also been able to connect people with different support groups or different women's shelters, or just even have them become friends with each other,
Mm.
which leads to further, empowerment and things like that.
Absolutely. Where do you see Mine Not Yours blossoming to in the future?
So right now, what I'm currently trying to do with my outdoors is shift it from a candle business to a movement.
Mhm.
So I want people to recognize Why Not Yours as a business that raises awareness for domestic violence and sexual assault, and somewhere where they again can feel validated, where they feel heard. And so I want to do this by raising awareness through different initiatives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to sell the candles and have different merch, but also just by doing, maybe these virtual fundraisers, I want to eventually do like little candle making workshops, or
Yes.
I want to lead my own yoga and meditation
Mm-hmm.
classes. So I'm currently getting certified for that. So
Awesome.
I really just want it to be a movement where we all come together and create an environment where we support survivors, believe survivors, and even if you're not a survivor, where you learn that abuse is real and this is something that is, going on day to day. One thing that I do, I love this quote that's simple. It says, everybody knows somebody, which is very true. I feel like there's not a lot of people that realize how common this abuse is. That's one thing that I really just want my Not Yours to highlight that, but to really just build support and love for those people that have been abused.
What does Mine Not Yours do for you specifically? How does it fulfill you?
So I think one thing, one of my main motivations with my Not Yours is to let people know that they're not alone. When I was going through my abuse, it was something I was very ashamed of. So I never opened up to anyone about it. I never opened up to my friends, family. And when I started going to counseling, I still was very in denial because I was like, no, I would never let a man do that to me. I was like, no. So I dealt with a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, and I became very small.